What if the darkest tools of psychological control, the very blueprints for obedience, domination, and mass manipulation, weren't buried with a regime, but preserved, refined, and quietly absorbed into modern life? Welcome to Black Sun Psychology, the Nazi mind hacks they never wanted you to find. This is not a story about history, it's a warning. And if you're watching this, you've already sensed it. The world doesn't feel like it used to. Truth bends, reality feels curated, and every time you question it, you're made to feel like you're the one losing your grip. But what if you're not crazy? What if you're just seeing the edges of a machine that was built almost a century ago and never really turned off? Let's begin. Germany, 1930s. A nation humiliated by war, drowning in debt, boiling with resentment. And into that chaos stepped something monstrous, yes, but also something strategic, something calculated. The Nazis didn't just seize power, they engineered it. They designed obedience. They ran psychological operations on their own population, turning neighbors into informants, citizens into soldiers, men into myths. And it worked, not because people were evil, but because people were predictable. They understood something terrifying. People don't need to be forced. They just need to be made to feel like they're choosing. Control the narrative, and you control the choice. And so the Reich began building a psychological weapon that wouldn't require chains, camps, or even guns. At least not at first. The first war was always fought inside the mind. Joseph Goebbels knew this better than anyone. The so-called Minister of Propaganda wasn't just a loudmouth puppet. He was a meticulous manipulator. He didn't just study politics. He studied psychology. He devoured the works of Edward Bernays, Freud's nephew, the man who pioneered the use of subconscious triggers in advertising. Goebbels took these principles and weaponized them. He once said, "The most brilliant propagandist technique will yield no success unless one fundamental principle is borne in mind constantly. It must confine itself to a few points and repeat them over and over." It wasn't about truth. It was about saturation. It wasn't about convincing you. It was about exhausting your resistance. So let's look at what they built, because it didn't die with them. These are the mind hacks of the Black Sun. Weaponized identity. First, they created a sense of us, a mythic identity, pure, noble, destined. Then they created a them, degenerate, dangerous, parasitic. This binary thinking bypasses critical thought. It flips the switch in the brain from reason to tribal survival. And once people believe they're under threat, they'll trade freedom for protection without hesitation. Fear is the currency of obedience, but fear alone isn't enough. So came the ritual of belonging. Uniforms, flags, salutes, songs. This wasn't decoration, it was programming. Every ritual repeated, every symbol absorbed, reinforced one thing. You are not an individual, you are part of the machine. And if you ever doubt it, look in the mirror. What do you see? Yourself? Or the role you've been assigned? The theater of choice. The Nazis held elections. They printed ballots, posted posters, people voted. But it was all a performance. A trick. Give the people the illusion of participation, and they won't see the cage. Let them pull the lever, even if both choices lead to the same cell. Today, we scroll. We click. We choose between two sides that scream at each other, while the puppeteers behind the curtain sip their wine. Sound familiar? The mirror accusation. Everything the Nazis planned to do, they first accused others of doing. Destabilizing the nation? Blame the communists. Corrupting the youth? Blame the Jews. Controlling the media? Blame the press. By projecting their crimes outward, they kept their own slate clean, at least in the public mind. They flooded the zone with noise until the average person simply stopped trying to separate fact from fiction. And that's the point. Confusion is compliance. If you can't trust anything, you'll follow the loudest voice, just to feel anchored. The poison of repetition. Say it once, no one listens. Say it 1,000 times, and it becomes truth. The mind tires, the will bends. The average German didn't wake up one day a killer. They were nudged, shaped, saturated, until lies became familiar. And familiarity is power. Even today, our feeds are filled with the same phrases, the same enemies, the same outrage every hour of every day. Ask yourself, who benefits from that? Emotional hijacking. The Nazis learned that facts don't move people, stories do. Symbols, spectacle, mythology. They used Wagner's operas, Norse iconography, epic speeches in darkened halls lit like ancient temples, not to inform, to intoxicate. Emotion short-circuits logic. It bypasses skepticism. And once you're emotionally committed to a belief, you'll defend it with your life, even if it kills you, even if it kills others. And that's when the final mind hack clicks into place. Inversion of reality. The ultimate victory is not when the people obey you. It's when they believe you. It's when they no longer need chains, because they've internalized the cage. They'll monitor themselves. They'll report each other. They'll fight to defend their own oppression. This was the true genius of the Nazi psychological machine. And it didn't die with them. It went corporate. It went digital. It went mainstream. Because the world saw what they built, and some took notes. Today we don't have Goebbels. We have algorithms. We have influencers. We have curated outrage, perfectly timed, perfectly packaged, injected into your feed at the exact moment you're vulnerable. And you think you're choosing. You're not. You're being chosen. So the question is, are you watching reality? Or are you inside a script written decades ago by men who knew exactly how your mind would work before you were even born? Because if you've ever repeated a slogan you didn't question, if you've ever joined a side just to belong, if you've ever shut your mouth because truth felt dangerous, then you've already met the Black Sun. It's not a symbol, it's a system. And it's still turning. So what can you do? Start by questioning everything, even this. Refuse to be predictable. Refuse to be polarized. Refuse to let your mind become a battlefield someone else designed. Because the next war won't be fought with bullets. It will be fought with beliefs. And the victors will be the ones who never stopped thinking for themselves. If this woke something in you, if this rang true, then don't let it stop here. Subscribe, like, share it with someone who still believes they're safe from influence. Drop a comment below. What's the mind hack you now see in your own life? Because once you see the strings, you can't unsee them. And the puppeteers, they're hoping you look away. Don't. The Black Sun is rising again. But this time, you're ready.